Story title: The Words We Leave Behind. It was the last day of school before summer break. Students rushed out of the classroom, their laughter echoing down the hallway, everyone except Maya. She sat quietly at her desk, packing her bag slowly, her head down. Mr. Lewis, her English teacher, noticed. "Not going to celebrate, Maya?" She shrugged. "Nothing to celebrate." Mr. Lewis frowned. Maya was a bright student, but lately her spark had faded. "Is everything all right?" She hesitated, then whispered, "Words don't matter, Mr. Lewis. People just say things, they don't mean them." Before he could reply, she left. That night, Mr. Lewis couldn't stop thinking about her words. The next morning, he returned to the empty classroom and looked at the chalkboard still covered with essays. One line from Maya's writing caught his eye. "Words can build worlds or burn them." He decided he wouldn't let her leave the year believing that words were meaningless. The following Monday, he gathered the class one last time. "Before you go," he said, "I want to try something." He handed each student a small piece of paper. "Write down one kind sentence for someone else in this room. Don't sign your name. Just write what you truly feel." The students groaned but did as told. They dropped the notes into a box, laughing as they finished. Then Mr. Lewis shuffled the papers and handed them back at random. "Read them," he said. At first there was silence, then smiles, then tears. "I've never seen you give up," one note read. "You make everyone laugh when they need it most. You're the reason I passed math." Maya unfolded hers last. It said, "You make people want to be better. Don't forget that." Her eyes filled with tears. She looked up at Mr. Lewis, who simply smiled. Summer came and went. When the new school year began, Maya was gone. Her family had moved to another city. Mr. Lewis missed her but hoped she carried that note with her. Years passed. One rainy afternoon, long after he'd retired, Mr. Lewis was sorting through old papers when a young woman knocked on his door. "Mr. Lewis?" He looked up. The woman smiled shyly. "It's me, Maya." He blinked in surprise. "Maya." "My goodness, look at you. How did you find me?" "I wanted to say thank you," she said softly. She handed him an envelope. Inside was an old, wrinkled piece of paper, the same note from years ago. "I kept it," she said. "Back then, I was struggling. My parents were fighting, and I felt invisible. That note saved me. It reminded me that I mattered." Mr. Lewis's eyes grew misty. "I'm glad you stayed to read it," Maya nodded. "I became a teacher, you know. English, like you. I wanted to do for someone else what you did for me." They sat together for hours, talking about life, students, and the strange ways words shape the world. As she left, Maya said, "I tell my students what you taught me, that words don't disappear when spoken. They live in someone's heart." Mr. Lewis smiled. "Then keep speaking carefully. You never know who's listening." A year later, Mr. Lewis passed away peacefully in his sleep. When the news reached Maya, she traveled back to the small town where it all began. At his funeral, the church was filled with former students. Each one shared a story about something he'd said that changed them, an encouragement, a compliment, a simple word that had stayed for years. Maya stood up to speak last. Her voice trembled but clear. "He once told me that words are seeds. If you plant kindness, you'll grow hope. If you plant cruelty, you'll grow pain." Today I see what he meant. His words planted forests inside us. When the service ended, Maya walked alone to his old classroom, now empty. The desks were gone, but the smell of chalk still lingered. She stood at the same board where she had once written her essays and picked up a piece of chalk. On the faded surface she wrote, "Thank you for reminding me that words matter." Then, on impulse, she added below it, "Your words live on." She left the room quietly. But the next day, when new students came in, they saw the message and asked their teacher what it meant. He smiled. "It's a story about a man who believed in the power of words." And so, the lesson continued, passed from one voice to another, across time. Moral of the story: words have power. They can wound or heal, destroy or rebuild. Choose them with kindness because once spoken, they can live forever in someone's heart.